Okay, thanks, Jarkko. So you can hear me. Excellent. So, chatbots as a team assistant. I'm going to tell you a story about how one chatbot came to be. And just to be sure that we are talking about the same thing, that what a chatbot is and what is it, it is not, a few key concepts. But first, of course, a few words about me. So I've been in the business for quite many years and done quite a bit different roles during those years. At the moment, I identify myself mostly with the titles like data engineer, API developer, DBA, project manager, that sort of things. Doing basically two jobs at the moment: day job and part-time entrepreneur through my own business, focusing mainly on consulting and subcontracting for data engineering jobs and also chatbots, tailor-made solutions on that area. But about user interfaces to information systems in general, there are different kind of user interfaces. Of course, everybody knows the graphical user interface, the most used nowadays, I believe. Of course, email is one interface which works both ways. SMS, and at least all the developers know quite well nowadays. Also, the command line or terminal, which is of course almost totally text-based interface. And there's an idea: chatbot for terminal. Why not? And there's of course speech option, which can be in two different ways, from text to speech, which can basically be an audiobook in the easiest form, or speech to text. So you can, for example, dictate text and machine interprets it as a text. And focus today is APIs, and that's of course one interface to various systems. And last but not least, there are the newest kid on the block, chatbots. And in this case, as a chatbot, I mean text-based interface. There's of course the speech option available, but today I'm focusing on the text-based chatbots. Okay, so what is a chatbot? In general, chatbot is just like any one of us in a group chat. Kinda, sometimes smarter, sometimes a little less. Basically, it's a robot automation tool which performs various tasks given to it by other group members, answering questions, reporting information or alerts from the backend systems. And in the end, stripped down, chatbot is just a server program or a service, technically speaking. It has nothing to do with an AI necessarily. It can utilize AI, but it's not a same thing. And for example, my chatbot doesn't have anything to do with artificial intelligence at the moment. Let's see what the future holds. So here's a little example how to communicate with a chatbot in a team chat. I have divided the communication into two groups, which the first one is a simple example about the command-based interface. So you basically give the chatbot easy commands without actual sentences, just keywords, and bot does how it interprets that text. And of course, the more advanced more demanding alternative is the conversational option, where you can actually discuss with the chatbot. You can be polite if you like. Chatbots like it if you are polite with them. So basically, they are more familiar to interact with. They are pretty much just like kind of a dumb teammate. So you have to dumb down your speech a bit. But anyways, both ways you can get the job done. The first one is much easier to implement. How does this whole chatbot thing look like as a systems architecture point of view? Of course, we need some kind of a chat service, basically. Can be anything, as long as it has some kind of an API which enables the chatbot to interact with the chat service. And then you need, based on your chatbot, various backend systems. And of course, if you have APIs on those, things are a lot easier than without an actual API. But quite simple, as you can see. Nothing fancy here. About my own example, I was interviewed in TV, a Finnish IT magazine. I believe most of you know the magazine. A couple of numbers back, I believe the story is still readable online, and it was really fun thing to be able to tell about my own creation and how I use chatbots, or actually used at the time. Things have moved along quite a bit since then. So, what does my Slackbot Sara do? There are a couple of examples. Nowadays it does a bit more actually, but the basic set is it's kind of a DevOps assistant, maybe you could call her that. It relays some information and alerts from the backend systems to a Slack channel. So basically, before the bot, people were sometimes mandated to go to the backend systems to look for information, read logs, or that sort of things. Yeah, there's some legacy behind that, but nowadays it's far less of that, and all the relevant information can be seen in Slack channel. Of course, it works both ways, so we can command the bot for do some basic application installations to backend systems, maybe do ad hoc database backups or restores even. That actually worked, and when I saw the restore go live for the first time, it was pretty amazing thing. There's quite a bit moving parts, as everybody knows who has done some backup database restores. Not as easy as it sounds. Then there's some administrative tasks which the bot can do. I can report project estimates and how projects are going, and I can get a report back about the whole project portfolio or from individual projects. I can do time reporting, and I can get time reports from the bot. And last but not least, I can do the whole customer invoicing through my bot without unnecessary interaction. I kick the service off, and the bot collects the base information for invoicing, and I then approve the information if it's correct, and approve the invoices to go forward, which go through an API to an company who delivers the actual invoices to banks or in paper form via mail. quite handy. And of course, there are quite many backend systems, and actually in internet too. I can ask various questions, and the bot collects the answer from various sources and combines some kind of a report for me to see. About the backend systems, which are connected, without going any details, there are some bare metal Linux servers and Windows servers also, and some cloud services which have been connected to our bot. So, why we chose Slack? Basically, it was already in use, so it was seen as a fit solution for team discussion. For a remote team, it's an excellent choice, in my opinion. And Slack has an excellent API, one of the best I have seen, and I have seen quite a many, and also done quite many. And Slack's API is one of the best all time I have seen and used. So it enables chatbots and a lot more, as many of you probably know. So how to get started? And actually why? Why should you start using bots or even developing your own? It's one way to bring the UI of your app to your users. Let's say your users are already in some team chat. It may be Slack, it might be some other group message platform. So there are some simple text-based tasks which your team members must do during the day. So if they have to jump to another browser window or some desktop application to perform the task, why bother if the same tasks can be done in the group chat? So it's easier for the users. You can start, and actually I propose that you should start in small scale with a very, very simple example and expand as you can see how the first case has been solved and learn from the experience. It doesn't cost much, of course, depending on the APIs which you have used. And you can see quite fast that is it a viable option for your team or for your business. And it's worth note that chatbots is definitely not a universal solution to everything. For example, applications that use graphics heavily, for example, maps, I cannot see how that could be done by a chatbot. And complicated tasks, which have a lot of thinking to do, as everybody know, they are really hard for a machine to complete. So I wouldn't start from those. And any task which doesn't feel natural to do in text form. So if some tasks are easier to draw or speak or do in some other way, don't try to push it forcefully to a text form. It's probably not going to work. So what else? Don't try to make one chatbot which solves all the problems. Been there, done that. The more beneficial way is to do one chatbot which focuses on one domain. For example, it could be a project assistant, or it could do invoicing, or it could do DevOps. Don't try to make one bot do everything. It's quite hard to maintain and train new stuff. Complexity is not a good thing in this field either. Of course, when you split concerns, it enables distribution of development. You can use multiple teams, multiple developers. You can outsource things. And specialization, especially if your bot uses natural language, so the conversational option to discuss, it greatly improves the accuracy when the bot has only one domain to focus. So it understands the words much, much better than if you are trying to teach some general language to a one bot. So basically, start small, try things out. There are plenty of ready-made bots, for example, for Slack, which you can try out. Contact me. Let's make you a dedicated one, which does exactly what you want. And try things out. Maybe bots.